And we're back. Let's see if the glass slipper fits. More of a shoe, I thought, anyway. Because, you look at pictures from Cinderella and you go, that's clearly a shoe.
You're referring to, obviously, the Beauty and the Beast, the very Disney one.
Cinderella, not Beauty and the Beast.
A glass slipper. Whereas, it depends how far back you go, because there's the proper Grimm version of it where, like, the sisters try it on and chop their toes off and stuff. I've always preferred those ones.
Slippers are supposed to be comfortable, though. And slippers are like, they're generally made of that sort of foam stuff. And it's like, there's a big difference between shoes and slippers. But Silent Hill 2.
Getting back to it, yes. I think the only way we can move forward now is, as we've just done, the employee elevator key, which doesn't open an elevator, but in fact a door to the elevator room. Which is why I think it's a bit awkward to figure out where you're going, because you assume you're going to an elevator.
Empty shelf. And a loudly, obnoxiously buzzing elevator.
As it's going to tell us, I think. Weight allowance up there, 1 person.
Let's see how long this takes.
I think let's just let the
Pavlovian lesson take hold here. Oh, rub it in, game, why don't you?
I don't know, it is actually a little tough to read up there. I think our player is a little confused. It now lets you put your items on it.
And if you think about it logically, which will be ruined in a second, don't worry. If we think about it logically, we are actually carrying quite a lot. That would make us weigh more than 1 person. Although why you'd have a lift that can only lift 1 person...
Well, yes, because they're usually like 8 to 16. But yes, you're carrying...
8 to 16?
8 to 16 people. Something like that. I forget exactly, I think it varies. But yes, we're carrying like 4 guns and ammo for it, and torches and radios and nearly 10 health kits. As I think Scott's trying to do, he's saying what he can and can't keep. But unfortunately, you literally just have to put absolutely everything on it. Which is a bit silly, because 1 person, if you weigh as much as Jane Sunderland does in this instant, it seems to be.
Intriguingly enough, the letter's text has disappeared.
I think it does that sort of, after you fight with Eddie.
Actually, it's a pet peeve of mine, because generally what people say is they say the letter gradually disappears over time as you progress throughout the game, but it doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, because we checked it.
Yeah, there are certain sections of the game which remove chunks of it, and I think there's like 4 stages it goes through. So it's not a gradual disappearance at all. It's a very big step sort of process.
Because we haven't really been checking them in the game. I think the cut-off point is after we sort of deal with Laura and Eddie. We can't read the letter anymore. I don't know whether it's doing that because he's beginning to question whether it happened or not at that point.
I think he's beginning to realise, yeah.
Yeah, because both of them are telling him, no, you didn't love your wife, or you're here for the same reason I'm here, as Eddie said.
Also, I'm assuming it's... Well, we'll get to that.
Still trying that.
Well, it is very trying.
It is.
Yes, this is the point where you sort of go, this isn't logical at all.
No, it isn't. It's the strange and mysterious world of Silent Hill logic. And it's still
that key
not
weighs
gonna-
you down.
You'd think like you go to the bathroom and like try and make himself weigh less, but that could work.
It's a bit... It's just silly, because of course, I mean, one person doesn't mean one person in the physical condition of James here, who isn't
Yeah.
particularly... I mean, Eddie, he would have no hope getting in this elevator if James can't even get on with a bit of paper or a key.
No, it isn't actually letting us get to all the floors, I don't think.
No, this elevator only goes down.
Second map there.
We're going to have to get used to, once again, not having our light, which means we can only refer to this map in when it's bright enough to read.
So it's now filled in the employee area, because they have a sort of little place where they live in the hotel, which I quite like.
Yes, James has sat down and merged these maps into one Uber map.
I like that you can read the label there. It says Silent Hill. We have our videotape, which we left behind,
And of course a can opener.
just in case.
The sort of stuff you put in a safe, really.
I quite like the really precariously balanced boxes as well. It's a bit like, who made them? Who put them there?
Like I say, I quite like the way they distinguish the employee area from the public area.
Yes, it's a bit run down, stained
It's a mess.
carpets, and yeah, they don't bother to really repaint the walls. Or...
He's trying to decide whether or not he wants to be in this new area or whether or not he was finished upstairs.
Well, as we know, down in Silent Hill isn't always the best location to go. It usually means moving forward, I suppose, in terms of plot. I actually think when you play this as well, you feel a bit vulnerable, because you're going into this new area with no weapons and no light source and no healing items. So it's a bit like, what if you come across a monster?
I mean, we've got some rifle shells. What are we going to do? Throw them at the monsters?
I suppose you just have to throw your fists. as it
Data's
were.
from 1 year ago. And when we're back into the light, hopefully we can... Oh, we're in a light area now. We should be able to check the map. There we go. Check our Uber map. And see that there's still quite a bit of this floor to explore.
No go on the bathrooms again. I like the lighting actually, because the light's shining from the elevator. Oh, we're going in the one with the ominous red bulb.
Seems to be a storage room for food, but it does
No.
have the Snow White box in it.
And as the little note says, he's going round, it's rotten. Though I like that the Snow White one, if you notice, there was a big apple on the side as well. So that's very Snow White. But we do now have all 3 pieces of that puzzle.
Such that it is.
Yeah.
Well, we don't actually have them.
Well, the shelf back upstairs has the other two, but we finally found the third piece.
We've finished in this area, the door back into the hotel proper being locked, jammed. And we'll see if we can clear some of that jam. Actually, we can't clear some of that jam. We can't get into there yet at all, through that door. But we'll see where we've ended up next time.